Welcome to 10 Things You Should Know About Mediation. This video is brought to you by Pacer Center, Minnesota's parent training and information center since 1977, and made possible with funding from the Minnesota Department of Education. In Minnesota, parents and school districts are encouraged to resolve disputes through a variety of options, including mediation. Here are 10 things you should know about mediation. Number 1. Mediation is a confidential meeting guided by a neutral mediator, designed to help parents and school staff settle a dispute that's getting in the way of working together for your child. Sometimes you and the school may get so stuck in disagreement that communication breaks down, trust is lost, your meetings and conversations become unproductive, and you can't find a way to move forward. For example, you might disagree about your child's eligibility for special education services, or what kind of educational program your child should be placed in to meet their needs. You might disagree over specific services your child is receiving on their Individualized Education Program, or IEP, or on their Individualized Family Service Plan, or IFSP, whether those services are from a special education teacher, a speech therapist, a school nurse, or a paraprofessional. You might disagree on behavioral supports for your child, or issues related to school discipline. Or your relationships with school staff might be so damaged that it's an obstacle to your participation on your child's IEP or IFSP team. If you and the school are deadlocked on an issue and you're struggling to work together for your child, mediation with a neutral mediator could help you find a compromise that allows you to move forward. Number 2, either you or the school can fill out a request for mediation form and send it to the Minnesota Department of Education. You'll find a link to this form on the Minnesota Department of Education website, with instructions for how to send it to MDE. The form has separate pages for you and the school to give basic information about your disagreement, including: is communication between you and the school difficult? If so, you're asked to briefly explain. You're also asked to describe what specific issues you need assistance from the mediator to resolve, if you have a preference to meet in person or virtually, and if you need an interpreter or reasonable accommodations to participate. Number 3, mediation is a totally voluntary process. Whether you or the school requests it, this meeting only happens if both of you agree to participate. Number 4, the mediator does not make any decisions for the parent or the school at mediation. The mediator is a professional trained in effective mediation techniques, with knowledge of laws and regulations related to special education and early intervention. Their services are paid for by the Minnesota Department of Education, so there is no fee for parents or the school to go to mediation. The mediator cannot take your side or the school's side and cannot give you or the school any legal advice. Their job is to help you and the school clearly communicate concerns, find common ground, and explore possible solutions. Number 5, you decide who attends mediation with you, and the school decides who they bring to mediation. Generally, a smaller group of people works best at mediation. The Minnesota Department of Education encourages the school not to have more people at mediation than the parent brings. Parents can invite someone to mediation for support, such as an outside professional who works with your child, a trusted person from your family or community who knows your child, or a parent advocate. And if you think mediation is an important opportunity for your child, youth, or young adult to speak for themselves or participate in another way, you can invite them too. The school will generally invite to mediation one of your child's teachers or someone providing services to your child, school staff with expertise on the issues in your dispute, and a district representative who can make decisions about school resources that might be used to help settle your disagreement. Attorneys are allowed at mediation, but the Minnesota Department of Education asks the school to consider bringing an attorney only if the parent decides to do so. Number 6. The Minnesota Department of Education requires you and the school to schedule at least 4 hours for your mediation. If it would be difficult to participate in a 4-hour meeting due to your work schedule, childcare responsibilities, or health or disability-related needs, you can request that MDE break up your mediation into 2 shorter sessions. A different situation is when you and the school may need more time to problem solve together or gather more information about possible solutions. If this happens, you and the school can agree to meet again and request that MDE provide a mediator for another session. Number 7. At mediation, you and the school are expected to be open to compromise. There are many strategies you can use to find a strong compromise with the school and maximize the success of mediation. Consider new ideas besides what you've talked about in previous meetings with the school. Explore different routes that could get you to the outcomes you want for your child. Try to understand the school's perspective and look for ways that your concerns for your child connect with the school's concerns. Practice patience and perseverance as you talk through possible solutions that could resolve your disagreement in ways you may not have thought of before. Number 8. There are easy steps you can take to get ready for mediation. Usually, the mediator will start mediation by asking you and the school to share your different views on the dispute. It can be helpful to prepare what you want to say ahead of time. First, think about the best possible outcome you could get from mediation for your child. Then take a step back and try to answer these questions. What specific concerns of yours would that outcome resolve? How does that outcome reflect your values and what is important to you for your child's education? In what ways would that outcome make a difference for your child? Answering these questions in your opening statement may help the school better understand your side of the disagreement and open doors to new options the school could offer to address your concerns. Bring items to mediation that will help you talk about your concerns. For example, a photo, short video, or something that represents your child's strengths, needs, interests, or preferences. You could also bring emails or texts your child's teachers may have sent you, or a letter from an outside therapist who works with your child. Ask for help to get ready for your mediation. Talk to your child's IEP case manager or IFSP coordinator. Contact the Minnesota Department of Education, or call an advocate here at PACER. Number 9. A unique feature of mediation is the caucus, which can support negotiation. Whether your mediation is in person or virtual, at any time you or the school can request to leave the joint session and go into separate rooms. This is called a caucus. The caucus gives you a chance to talk privately with the people you brought to mediation about how things are going so far, and think out loud about any questions, issues, or ideas you'd like to share with the school when you return to the joint session. You might also use a caucus to consider a proposal from the school or come up with your own proposal for the school. And you can ask the mediator to join your caucus if needed. Number 10. The goal at mediation is to write and sign a legally binding mediated agreement that resolves all or part of your dispute with the school. The mediator is responsible for documenting the specific terms of your agreement in writing. Generally, mediators use a form provided by the Minnesota Department of Education. Before you sign, the mediator will give you and the school time to review the mediated agreement and check to make sure that it's clearly written, understood by all, and accurately reflects your agreements. You and the school may also consult with other people who don't attend your mediation before signing the mediated agreement. The mediated agreement may be signed by hand or electronically. Once signed, the mediator will give you and the school a copy of the mediated agreement for your records. The terms of a mediated agreement are enforceable in court. If there is any difficulty implementing the mediated agreement, you or the school can request another mediation. Let's review. 1. Mediation is a confidential meeting guided by a neutral mediator designed to help parents and school staff settle a dispute that's getting in the way of working together for your child. 2. Either you or the school can fill out a request for mediation form and send it to the Minnesota Department of Education. 3. Mediation is a totally voluntary process. 4. The mediator does not make any decisions for the parent or the school at mediation. 5. You decide who attends mediation with you, and the school decides who they bring to mediation. 6. You and the school must schedule at least 4 hours for your mediation. 7. At mediation, you and the school are expected to be open to compromise. 8. There are easy steps you can take to get ready for mediation. 9. A unique feature of mediation is the caucus, which can support negotiation. 10. The goal at mediation is to write and sign a legally binding mediated agreement that resolves all or part of your dispute with the school. For more information about mediation and other options that you have for working through a disagreement with your school, visit our website at pacer.org. To connect with the Pacer Parent Advocate, call 952-838-9000 or fill out our online Ask an Advocate form. You can also find helpful information and resources on the Minnesota Department of Education website. From the Students and Families tab on the MDE homepage, go to Programs and Initiatives and then Special Education on the drop-down menus. And to connect with someone on the MDE Dispute Resolution team, call 651-582-8689 or fill out their online Contact Us form. Thank you for watching 10 Things You Should Know About Mediation. Pacer Center is not a legal services agency and does not provide legal advice or legal representation. The content of this video is for informational and educational purposes only and is not legal advice and should not be used as a substitute for legal advice.